Chinese people were going in and I couldn't get in. Hey lovelies, welcome to the channel Romalee. I'm Romalee. If you have seen part 1 of this video, this is part 2 where I'll be telling another part of the story, but I never wanted the video to be to be too long. So yeah. Alright, let's jump into part 2. So in part 1, I spoke about, coming here from day 1, what I did from day 1 to come here and blah, blah, blah. So now I'll be giving you part 2 of the story when I decided to move to a new city. That's the city where I am now, the capital city. So, in finding an apartment here, I used to come to this city almost every weekend to find housing because it was so difficult for me to get something close by school. It was so difficult for me to get something close by my school. So I remember when I found the first apartment, that was my first time seeing an apartment that doesn't have a squat toilet, an apartment which had a microwave. That was my first time seeing a microwave in 1.5 years of being here. More than one and a half years. That was my first time seeing a microwave. That was my first time seeing a dryer. Yeah, first time. So I remember I found my Chinese friend and I, we found that apartment and we were like, okay, this is the one. This is definitely the one. And she was the one doing all the work and so on. Then the landlord came to meet us, but the landlord never knew that a foreigner was renting. And I remember when the landlord came there, the landlord was like, no, I'm not renting to black people.
And
that was my first time in almost 2 years hearing anything mean from someone here. That was my first time ever experiencing something like that. I felt so bad about that too, but it's like, I'm not going to allow that to break my spirit. I am not going to allow that to break my spirit. Even though I felt so bad, I was so embarrassed, and my friend was very angry. And so we kept on looking for housing until I find my apartment that I am at now, because it still kind of had that Western style. It didn't have the bathroom in one, the all-in-one concept. It didn't have a squat toilet. So it was really good. And in future videos, I'll also do a video showing you different apartments that I visited, the cost for the apartments, and give you tips and so on. But let's stick with this story right now. So I settled in my apartment. I went to school. I met wonderful colleagues, just the same like I had in the old city. I met really, really wonderful colleagues just like I did before. And I became close with them and so on. They also helped me to do everything. And to date, I still talk to the teachers from my old city, the parents, the children. I moved in a neighborhood where no foreigners are here either. Once or twice I run into other foreigners, but they're from like other districts, but they'll come to where I am because there's a big mall and there are a lot of things to do around my area. But no other foreigners living in this area. In my complex, no other foreigner. Yeah, no other foreigner. The kids will see me in this complex every day and they're like, hello, hello, how are you, hello. The aunties will see me there, tell their kids, go and say hi to the foreigners, and I still get that little vibe. But here, I also go to the metro. I've been to the metro once and someone just ran and they came up to my face and they snapped a picture and they ran away. People are not as polite as people were in my old city. Some people are polite though. They'll see me and They'll come over. If they don't speak English, they'll translate they'll come up with their phones. You'll see them looking at you for a long time. They'll come up with their phones and they're like, may I take a picture with you? And I say, okay, sure. And I'll take a picture with them and they're like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much, you know? But here, more than my old city where people were seeing a foreigner for the first time, here, people literally stare at me from head to toe. My eyes will make 4 with other people's eyes, and that they don't care about that. They're still going to look at me. I'll be walking and I see people touching other people. Look, 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 look. That's how it is here. No, when I went to my school, my team was really, really sweet. Other foreigners were working at the kindergarten. The babies are the sweetest. You know, sometimes my kids, they'll just hold my hand. Good morning, Romalee. You know, just like that. They'll just come and give me a hug. As they say, the funniest things and the sweetest things. Their parents are also very good people for the most part. Sometimes they'll just send some flowers to school. They'll send some gifts to school for you. My school also appreciates me a lot. Even the other day we were in a lockdown, my school, they sent grocery to me, just like my school in the small town would do. My colleagues here are just as nice as my colleagues were at the old school. Now, the difference here now, post-COVID, one, many people don't want to sit next to you. So I literally go to at the metro station, go in the subway, I sit down, and people, if they were sitting down too, they stand up. They don't want to sit beside me. Hey, I'm okay with that. I'm not going to stand up so you can sit down because you don't want to sit beside me. People, I'll be walking and people will literally move away because they don't want me to brush against them. I remember once we had a little holiday and I went out with one of my colleagues, her boyfriend and her cousin. We went to a really nice place and we were going to a restaurant. They told me to choose the restaurant. I saw this really nice one. I liked it and I said, okay, we can go there. And I remember the owner was like, you cannot come in. The Chinese people were going in and I couldn't get in. And my friends came out and they argued with the man and they took pictures of the place and so on. And you know, they were telling me, please do not feel bad. We hope you don't feel bad. That man is stupid. Of course I felt bad, but I wasn't going to allow that man to ruin my holiday. Yeah. There are also instances where my friends and I, foreigners, will be walking on the sidewalk. People, they don't have their mask on. They see us coming and they'll cover their faces with their jackets or their clothes. Some of them, they're literally running into cars. They're running off the sidewalks, running into cars and bicycles just not to walk beside us. Yeah? There's the issue here in the city. I think in comparing like where I'm at now and where I was before, people in the small town have a city mentality. Whereas they've never seen a foreigner before, but they treated me with such respect and they gave me so much love. And when I come to a place where they see foreigners every single day, many people still treat foreigners so badly. Many people still do that. Yet still they see foreigners regularly. Which to me, it's crazy. It's really, really crazy. Another thing is, you know, sometimes I'll go to the malls and so on, and people will scorn me. The other day we went into a lockdown for I think about 3 weeks. 3 weeks? 2 to 3 weeks, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But I went to the supermarket. People are usually very nice at the supermarket, but no, the supermarket was packed. And I remember I was in the supermarket and people, they were running from me. People were literally running from me. I felt so embarrassed. I wanted to cry, but to me, I was saying to myself, listen, I am not going to cry to let these people have a peace of mind to say, yes, we destroyed her. I am not going to do that. So I held my head high. I went to pick up my groceries because I was saying, I don't know how long this will continue. And I want to make sure I have grocery at home. I want to make sure I have grocery at home. And I'm not going to allow anyone to let me not have my grocery. So I was literally walking through the supermarket, picking things up. People were running from me. People were doing this. I was going in the line to cash. People were coming out of the line. I felt so embarrassed. I felt so bad. I felt really, 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 really bad, guys. I'm not going to lie about that. And on a regular basis, these things happen post-COVID. I'm not sure about before COVID because I wasn't here. I know that before COVID and during COVID, when I was at a smaller city, I was loved. Yeah, I was appreciated, I was loved, I was respected. But post-COVID, I got to experience the things that people were talking about when COVID was actually going on. Now, that's it so far for this city that I'm at. I really came here with, I wanted to travel because I love traveling. I love experiencing new cultures. I wanted to go to other countries and so on that are close by, but I'm not able to do so because if we leave, it's hard for us to come back. But I've been able to do a little things, but not too much. But here it's totally different from the small city I was at. As I said, people treat, there are many nice people. There are many nice people. Let's not think that that's not happening. There are many really wonderful people here, and there are also many mean people here. Yeah, many mean people here. I think here there's a constant battle of foreigners versus Chinese, black people versus white people versus Indian, not the actual black and white and other people going against each other, but the people here, the locals themselves, they put us into groups. Yeah, they put us into groups. Natives, non-natives, foreigners. The thing is, no matter how long you stay here, if you've been here for 20 years, people still see you as nothing but a foreigner. People see you as nothing but a foreigner. If you've been here for 10 or 20 years, that's how people will see you. Yeah? Doesn't matter how long you're here, and doesn't mean that you're going to be treated differently. If you've been here since 1990, people still treat you the same. There are many people who jobs will be advertised, and the details of the jobs will say white is better, no black people accepted, stuff like that. Trust me, I started a little recruiting company a while back, and I remember I was working with some people, and the schools that we got to, a lot of the schools were saying when I sent them candidates from Jamaica and so on, or black people, they would always say not good looking enough, too black. And I would always argue and say, what does the color of their skin have to do with their qualification? They're qualified teachers and so on. And so I kind of stopped doing that for a while, because for me, I'm Jamaican, I'm a black woman, and if you're going to say those things about people from my country or foreigners, I'm not going to be comfortable working with you. I'm definitely not going to be comfortable working with you, because what are you going to say about me? Yeah, what are you going to say about me? So I kind of stopped doing that a little and stuff, and I'm just focusing on studying, getting my master's done, and focusing on trying to cook and so on for YouTube. It's a bit difficult for me to cook for YouTube because sometimes I eat at school, I eat breakfast. Well, in the other city, the small town, sometimes I eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner at school. Now I only eat lunch, so by the time I get home, I work longer hours now because I'm a kindergarten teacher. I'll explain all of that to you about the documents and the different places you can work in my next video. But you know, it's kind of hard because I live alone. I'm cooking for myself, so sometimes if I make something today, I don't need to cook until another 3 days, and I don't want to cook anything fancy sometimes because I'm just cooking for myself. So I'm kind of working on, you know, doing better, being more consistent with my cooking. I'm going to try to be as consistent as possible here as well, because these videos are easier to make, to just sit down and speak to the camera. For me too, it's also very therapeutic because, you know, I can tell my story and it makes me feel better, because sometimes I still suffer mentally, even though I'm at a place where many other people are. I kind of isolate myself. You know, I don't really want to go out. I just want to stay home, work on my goals, and so on. So that's it for this story. If there's anything else that you'd like to know, of course you can ask me in the comment section. You can also follow me on social media, on Instagram and TikTok at Romalee Rowe, and on Facebook at Romalee Rowe, an extra E on the Romalee, and ask me any questions. Send the questions to my inbox, leave the questions in the comment section, and I'll do another video another time, answer your questions. I'll do Q&As, or I'll answer your questions in the comment section. Let me know what content you want to see. So the last thing I'll say is, I'm not trying to discourage anyone, and I'm not trying to force you to come here. You don't have to teach English here too. You can teach other subjects, and other subjects give you way more benefits. You get paid more, etc. So if you want to come here, I'll be able to give you all the necessary information. I'm not trying to force you to come here or to discourage you to come here, because guess what? Your story can be different from mine. I hope your story will be as amazing as the story I gave about when I was in the small city. I hope you won't experience other things that I've experienced in the big city. And yeah, you have to be open-minded to get here. For me, a lot of things, people taking my pictures, people constantly want to ask me some questions that are a bit ridiculous and so on. I don't let those things bother me. So you have to be open-minded to get here and want to survive here. And I think once you're open-minded, I think everything will be okay. Once you are open-minded, everything will be okay. And yeah, once you do that, you will be fine. I hope your story will be great. I'm finished talking. My throat is dry. Remember guys, give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe, turn your post notifications on. Share this video. Leave your questions in the comment section. I'll do Q&As, answer other questions. Thank you so much for watching. Let's get to 100K, of course. But first, let's get to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for watching. Until next video. Mwah.